It's August the 9th, and guess what? I'm going to play this scenario at the mouth of the Guadalcanal River, Guadalcanal, August 9th, 1942. This is training scenario number 1. Where did they go? It's 5 turns, as you can see right here with the turn track. Here are the starting forces. Each of them get a command point, and here we have the board. From this row over is unusable, so I got some of the markers ready to go. This is where the Japanese are set up on this side of the river, and the U.S. forces are on the east side of the river. And in order to win the game, it's the forces that have the most units on this side of the river, on the west side of the river, after 5 turns. So there's the United States have 6 units, I believe, yes, and the Japanese have, well, 5 with a decoy. But yeah, it's gonna take some maneuvering for the United States forces to get in position, especially since the Japanese have they're in jungle at the edge of this hill here. And have a kind of the advantage because the U.S. forces, the only way they can cross the river is on that sandbar right there. This is the Band of Brothers system. This is the old breed South Pacific. I got this from Worthington. Want to thank them for sending this to me. I'll put a link to the unboxing, but I like this system quite a bit. I've covered quite a bit of small unit tactical, which is basically platoon level down to individual games, especially World War II games, starting back with good old Squad Leader, but there are several others out there, and this system is unique in that it kind of it's all based on morale. So the unit's going to start off at 10 morale. So basically, to give this unit an order, a move order, or attack, or whatever you want to do with it, you got to roll its morale, and it's on a 10-sided die. So it's always going to succeed when its morale is at 10. But once it gets suppressed, you have to roll a 6. And if it's doubly suppressed, you got to roll a 2. And so that affects a lot of different things. It's all about suppression in this game. That's its firepower, and that's its efficiency firepower. So normally it should be able to use its full firepower, but if it's doing ops fire, it might have to do 3. That's its range, so you can get it full firepower up to the range. If you go double, then you get half the firepower rounded down, and that's the casualty. So if you ever roll, when the opponent rolls a die, and if the die roll plus that number is still under the firepower, then they're gonna get suppressed to red, and if they roll the 8, no, they get reduced. So they get reduced, so they get flipped over, and you get worse stats, mainly on the casualty side there. And then if you roll the 8, then you're gonna get eliminated. So that is you can't play the game based on that, but it's really not that complicated of a game, given that there are games like Advanced Squad Leader that really do get into the weeds on details. Here's your game player aid that has all the terrain effects and effects on firepower and movement and the like. And then you have the other player aid that kind of walks you through all the different steps that you need to go through to play this game. And that's it. It's really not that complicated. Again, once you understand this whole morale based mechanic, then this game is relatively easy to get into. All right, let me play this and come back to you. Old breed South Pacific Band of Brothers. Final situation. At end of the 5th turn. And this is where we ended up. The U.S. forces had 1, 2, 3, 4 squads, and the Japanese have 1. I don't think the decoy counts. So therefore, they have met the victory. The Americans win if they have the most squads west of the Guadalcanal River sandbar, which they do. The Japanese Lost 3 units. That was all through melee. Had some pretty good rolls there. And the U.S. units, the U.S. lost 2 units. Again, it was all in melee. Melee was relatively brutal. I think I did that right. Anyway, so there you have it. Melee is a little bit different than normal firepower. The U.S. units here get to use their full firepower, which is 4 for melee. And then the Japanese, this unit is pretty good. It's got a 3. So you roll 2 dice, and anything that's under the firepower gets the unit gets reduced. That's the way I read it, at least. That's the way I played it. Hopefully I did it right. The Japanese have this subscript here, so it's a little bit harder for them. But this is a pretty good unit at 3. There are other units where there was a 3 and a 2. But there you have it. That is training scenario 1. This is a good scenario for teaching you movement, teaching you firepower, op fire, which is very important. And did not get a chance to use final op in this because actually I should have used final op in one of the situations. Final op means you get to use op fire even after you've been used, but you get it at a penalty. I should have used that at one point. Anyway, good training scenario, teaches you the basics. You only go up to, I think, page 18 in the rules. You do not have to go into some of the more complicated stuff, but you have some pretty basic units here. There's no vehicles or artillery or weapons and stuff like that. But like this game, I like the whole morale aspect of it, that you have to roll the morale before you can do stuff. Really nice. And as far as component quality, this knocks it out of the park. These are nice, thick counters, pre-rounded, really good. You can hear it. That when I hear that, it makes me happy. And nice, thick boards here. These are dual-sided and good, thick boards here for gameplay. Anyway, thanks all. Thanks for watching.